What's up, everybody? It's your girl La. Welcome back to BlackGirlMarvel. As always, I am here with a quick little review. Last night I don't know, something was going on, and I was like, I'm in the Christmas spirit. I'm in the Christmas mood, and so I decided to watch not one but two of the Christmas Chronicles films because one, I love Kurt Russell. I feel like he could do no wrong. Anything I see him in, I'm obsessed. So I decided to take it upon myself to watch these films, and I just had like a quick little review about them, and I wanted to share it with everybody. So the first Christmas Chronicles film, mind you, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, I'm going to say some stuff about it. I'm going to talk about it, and that's going to be that. So the first Christmas Chronicle film is essentially about two siblings who they show that throughout the years, their father and mother, mind you, the father is played by Oliver Hudson, who is the son of Kurt Russell, so that was pretty cool. I didn't know that because I didn't check to see who else was in the cast, and I thought that was pretty cool. So he is a father to these two kids who they grow up in the Christmas spirit. They grow up celebrating Christmas every year, and he's recording it and all this kind of stuff. And you see the kids grow up during this time. Then you get to 2018, and the father has died. You find out that he is a firefighter, and that you find this out like later on in the film, that he is a firefighter and he wants to go save a family, and he died on duty. Shout out to our firefighters here in Michigan. That is you're putting your life on the line every time. So yeah, shout out to them. And so throughout this film, you see these two siblings. They used to be super close, but now they aren't as close. They are being raised by a single mother, and the daughter she loves Christmas. She's about, I don't know, I want to say the siblings are about, I'll say like 4 years apart. I think that's the most I'll say, like 4 years apart. So if he's like 16, she's like 12, I think, something like around that age. And you find out that she loves Christmas. It brings her like closer to her father, makes her remember her father in the most. She still believes that Santa Claus exists. The son is like, he's out here stealing cars with people, and you find out that he's in pain, and he's trying to mask it in some type of way. And the mom is just a pure mom. She works even when they tell her she doesn't have to work. She still has to come in because people leave the shift. Like, reminds me of my own mom, actually. And so in this film, so all these, so throughout the film, you see that the daughter is reliving past Christmases where her I don't know, I'm gonna say Christmases, where her father is still alive. And in watching one of these videos, she sees a hand kind of reach over, kind of like this, with a present, and she starts to believe that it's Santa Claus. And so she shows her brother. He tries to deny it, but that's like anything. You show somebody proof, and they try to deny it. I feel like this is crooked for some reason, but I don't know. Anyway, if it's crooked, it's crooked. I don't know. She shows her brother, so they decide to stay up and see if they can catch Santa Claus. During this time, their mom got called into work, so she's not there. They end up getting proof that Santa Claus still exists, and he's played by the magnificent Kurt Russell. And through some mishaps and haberdashery, they crash Santa's sleigh and have to help him repair it, and also help him get Christmas back on track. Because in this story, you find out that if Santa does not make his deliveries, like, bad things happen. And some stuff has happened through history that shows you when he has not delivered his presents. And that was like the Dark Ages, is when he missed Christmas Day, and the world needs a certain amount of Christmas spirit. And mind you, side note, I watched a lot of Christmas films because that's what I do. And Christmas spirit, people love to bring up like Christmas spirit and stuff like that, and like the spirit of giving and all that jazz. And to be totally honest, I like it. I feel like it's about just being nice to people and having that type of spirit when you keep going. But anyway, so throughout this film, they are getting into all kind of mishaps, and but you find out how magical like Santa actually is. Um, he knows every boy and girl, no matter how old you get. You know, and he's very like, I don't know. It was something very sweet and endearing about this film because you just he went in with a big smile on his face. He will call out people by their names. They will be like, "How do you know who I am?" And it just made me think about like society as a whole, really, because people always want proof, right? I want proof um, that aliens exist, or I want proof of whatever you thinking about. And there's a man that's dressed up like Santa. He somehow knows your name. He knows what you want for Christmas when you were a kid throughout all your years, your many years of living, and you're faced with it, and nobody believes him. You get some people who if you find out that they are true believers, and it's not a lot of those people, but you find out that they believe him and they give him some type of credit. You know, it takes a while for him to like win over people, but he does. So of course they try to make this as real world as possible. So Santa does get arrested because when their sleigh crashes, because the kids end up finding his sleigh, jumping in it, and it was just this the only scene that I was kind of like, all right, I need y'all to do a little better, like just a little better. And it was the scene where she's like, okay, he's flying in a sleigh because he does not know that they're in the back of his sleigh, and his sister gets really cold, and she's like, do you think you could find a blanket? Mind you, they're in Santa's sleigh, and he's looking for a blanket, and so she doesn't wait for him to find a blanket. She goes and taps Santa on the shoulder while he's flying the reindeer, and they crash because they freaked him out, and they didn't know he didn't know that they were there, and that's why they crashed. And I was just like, he don't even know you back there. You're gonna ask Santa for a blanket. All right, sis. Okay, anyway. And so I'm I enjoyed this film because for me, sometimes you just want to watch a film where it's like you don't have to pay extreme attention to understand the film. You can just kind of sit there and enjoy the whimsy, the I'm not gonna call it corny because I feel like all Christmas movies are to some extent corny. Even like Christmas films that don't deal with Santa particularly, I feel like there's a level of corniness you have to have in a Christmas movie to call it a Christmas movie. Those are my guidelines. If it's not corny to some extent, it ain't a Christmas movie, okay? Or at least a couple of corny moments, you know? But you find out that Santa has an issue with his image because, as we know, as we've seen 1,000 times, Santa is a robust, round man with pink cheeks that goes ho ho ho. And Kurt Russell's Santa Claus is not that image. He is a svelte 1,700-year-old Saint Nicholas, which he does not claim to saint because he said he has not been officially knighted a saint or whatever he said in the film, which I thought was kind of funny. But they still call him Saint Nicholas. And you find out throughout the film that pretty much Santa is helping the siblings become more united. They are purging some of their, sadness of the loss of their father. Mainly the son. The son is more so, he's hurt the most because he's at that like age where he needs his father and his father isn't there for him. So he's very mad at him. I can attest to this. My father died when I was 23. I am 33 now. And I get it. I was a little angry. I was a little mad. Now I didn't do anything like steal cars or anything like that, but yeah, I was angry that he was gone, but I understood that that's the facts of life and the circle of it. So throughout this film, the siblings get into mishaps. You find out that Santa's sack of toys is actually a portal into the North Pole, or like the workshop area, the area where he views like videos that children make to him, or there's a hall where there's all the letters that people sent to him. And this is when his sister finds out that her brother wrote a letter to Santa, um, pretty much asking him like, can you I want to see my father again, pretty much asking him to grant something that not even a genie can grant, because a genie cannot bring someone back from the dead. Um, and then so the whole film ends with Santa getting out of jail, proving that he is Santa and that he has these little elves. And I love that they aren't like traditional looking elves, like humanoid beings with like big ears. They honestly look otherworldly, and then they touch on the elves a little bit more in the second film, and I think that was like super dope. And they all speak like this elvish language, which I want to learn it so bad. But seeing as I need somebody to speak it with, I would learn it and then not speak it ever. But then you find out, because there's a thing called, like I said, true believers. The daughter, they found out that the daughter she comes from a long line of true believers, and that's including like her mom, her dad, like that side of the family, all that kind of stuff. And there's one spot that's empty, and it's because her brother isn't a true believer. And as you can tell, spoiler alert, by the end of the film, he becomes a true believer, and Santa writes his name in the book as one of the true believers. Because I'm saying, how can you get in Santa's sleigh, fly around with him, help him deliver toys, because they were on a time crunch, and usually Santa's by himself, but he was able to have the kids help him deliver. So the son drove the sleigh, and the daughter threw out presents and tossed them to Santa. And another thing about this film, which is pretty cool, is like the whole thing about Santa Claus and how he gets around. Like, how does he go to all these houses super fast and all that kind of stuff? I think it was the Santa Claus, if I'm not mistaken, or the Santa Claus 2, maybe it's the first Santa Claus, where I think like Charlie explains, like, or somebody explains, like, it's like like Santa messes with the time space continuum or something like that, and it slows down. But in this film, which I liked, in the first one, is that he moves super duper quickly. Like, I forget what he called, some type. It's not like pixie dust. It might be that word, but it's some type of dust that he turns into that allows him to move super duper fast, and he's like in and out of these homes. And so, with the siblings' help, they were able to save Christmas. There is a jail scene, like I said, he was in jail, and it's a big song break where he magically gives everybody instruments that they used to play with their kids, and they do a whole little sing, song, and dance in the jail cell with the cops and people showing up and just loving it. Mind you, shout out to Lamorne Morris. You might know him from New Girl as Winston. He was in this film as well. And as always, I don't care what he's in, I enjoy him in because he's funny. But he was in this film and he was one of the cops, and nobody believed him because he saw like flying reindeer. And I don't know. I just feel like this film was like very, very well done. Pulled on my old heartstrings a little bit, and I'm not really mad at it. So I was like, all right, it's like 3:00 in the morning. I might as well watch Christmas Chronicles too. So I popped on number 2, because at the end of the first one, you see Mrs. Claus pop up, and who is she? Played by other than Kurt Russell's life mate, Goldie Hawn, Oliver Hudson's mom, and I think that's great. And so in the second one is essentially kind of the first one, but not at the same time. So it's been 2 years since the first film. Their mother has met a young man, and he is played by no other than Tyrese Gibson. Which, the only gripe I had about this film is that Tyrese is a black man. Now, you didn't have to name him Tyrese, but Tyrese don't look like a Bob to me. You feel me? Like, his name could have been Aaron. I don't know, Derek. If you wanted to make it more like streamliney, like it could, But Bob, he didn't look a Bob to me, and I was just like, you gonna name this black man Bob? But not to say that there aren't black Bobs in this world. I'm not saying that. It's just that this is one of those times where I felt like the name of the character didn't fit the face of the character. But other than that, Christmas Chronicles 2 was great because Goldie Hawn has a bigger role, and I love me some Goldie Hawn. I think she's amazing in anything that she does. I think she brings a certain realness to any role that she's in, and I dig it. And so this film was about how the young lady from the first one she's older now, so she's like, so essentially she's closer to her brother's age. I think she's like, if it's 2 years, if she was 12 during this time, she's 14, like 14, 15 now, and she's hitting like those like teen stages, and I think she's missing her father more now that she's older, and seeing her mother with somebody else is really messing her up. Mind you, Tyrese Bob, he has a son, so um you got somebody new into the show, and into the film. The brother is still there, but he's older, and he doesn't, I guess they didn't want to make it seem like this like 17, 18 year old was going to be like in this like kids film, and or they wanted to make, they lean it more towards a kids film, but I kind of did miss the boy being in it, her brother being in it. But like I said, all in all, it was a good storyline. During this film, you find out we get to see like Santa's whole setup, his whole workshop, how much Mrs. Claus actually does in this film, and just for Santa Claus in general, which I think is pretty cool, because any other incarnation of a Christmas movie that focuses on Santa, when you get Mrs. Claus, she's either like goofy or daft, or um like goofy or daft, or she's just like, I'm here to make cookies and have babies, and Goldie Hawn's Mrs. Claus was very much like, she's like a part of the operation. She designs a lot of the workshops that they're in. She creates potions and different types of food. Like, she created food that's healthy, but it doesn't look like it's healthy. So you'll have like a green piece of cake that's essentially broccoli. Like, she wanted to, like, she fools around like with different tricks and incarnate. It's just like, she makes bombs out of like gingerbread cookies and stuff like that. So like, I thought that was fun and different, and just showed like the Mrs. Claus character in a different and better light. Um, and this film's essentially, like I said, the daughter is missing her father. She doesn't want a replacement. She feels her mom is forgetting her dad, which, little kids they really don't get that type of stuff. But anyway, I won't get it. That's a whole different conversation I can have. And you find out that Bob's, I'm going to say it like that every time because I just can't. Bob's son is he lost his wife, which is essentially the young boy's mother. And since he lost his mother, because his mother gave him like the confidence that he needed, once he lost her, he's clung to his father a lot and doesn't want to leave his side and all this other kind of stuff. And so, of course, like any other film, and mind you, this part of it takes place in Mexico, I believe. Like, it was Christmas time, and they were in Mexico, and the little girl was mad because, you're supposed to be in the snow. You're not supposed to be like on a beach during Christmas. Mind you, I would love to be on the beach during Christmas because that's like right around the time my birthday is happening. I love to be on the beach. I live in Michigan. I ain't got time for this weather. Luckily we ain't got no snow. Santa Claus, I pray that we do not get any snow. And I know I said do not, but I mean that. So the parents leave to go on a trip. Her brother goes snorkeling with the girl that he met in Mexico. And so the younger siblings are together. But the daughter has it in her mind to run away because she's like, everybody would be better if everything would be great if I just leave and I just went back home and nobody had to worry about me. Which that is never the case, folks. Do not run away from your family. Always open your mouth and say something. Just my little PSA for right now. If your family is your family and they love you, they'll take whatever you have to say. Really. Anywho. So, and then another side story is there once was an elf named Belsnickel. And he was essentially like Mr. Claus and Mrs. Claus, like son, essentially. Like, he was very close to the family. But as he started to get older, he started to get a little bit more mischievous. And there are like 5 things in their world that as an elf you have to follow. And he broke all 5. And I can't remember all 5. Go watch the movie. That's why I'm making this video. He breaks all 5. And so he turns into the one thing he hates the most, and that's humans. Because you find out that a long time ago, humans would capture these elves because they were magical and use them, almost wipe them out, and he hated humans. Santa Claus was the first human that he trusted and loved, and now because he's a human, he has felt betrayed by Santa and wants to take revenge by pretty much creating his own kind of like workshop in the South Pole and to wipe out Santa and everything that he's done. So he uses I believe her name is Katie. I didn't say either one of the people's names because it just didn't feel like it. He uses her because she's a true believer to get her to get into Santa's workshop, because Santa's workshop is essentially covered by the Aurora Borealis. It is called like the Veil of Borealis, and nobody but Santa knows how to get in and out of it. And so he needs her to help access. So essentially, he almost kills this girl and the boy because the boy realizes that Bob's son realizes that she's lying about going to the bathroom and joining him for this little kids club they're supposed to be joining in, and he follows her. And Belsnickel opens a portal. They're freezing at the North Pole. Santa Claus finds them. They have a great time in Santa's workshop, meets Mrs. Claus, and then all HE double hockey sticks breaks loose. And it's up to them to like partner up and go off separately to save everything. So in the end, you find out that it's a good story for kids who deal with like confidence and growing up and being strong, because Bob's son, through the help of Mrs. Claus and having like a loving type of mothering type of figure, realizes that he can be his own hero, and that he can be strong with his family, without his family, like he has within him. And the true believer, the young girl, realizes that, family is what you make it. Family is everything. You'll never forget them. You will always remember them. And so in a way, she made like a Christmas wish earlier, and essentially she got her wish in a long drawn out type of way, but she got her wish. And Belsnickel eventually became an elf again because he accepted his pain. He let go of his pain and his hurt, and essentially became a elf again. And they took him back to Mexico, and the family started singing songs and all that kind of stuff. And it was a great little ending, and I implore everybody to watch it. Also, I forgot to say, in the first film, when we find out that Teddy wrote a letter to Santa about seeing his father again, he did get a present from Santa. He got a gold ornament and a letter that said like, "This is the best that I could do." And so he hung up the ornament, and when he looked inside the ornament, like the ornament kind of like glowed or something like that. Glue, I don't know. Glue is not a word. I mean, it is a word, but it ain't for this. It glowed, and it's like Teddy himself turned into, inside the ornament turned into his father, and he told himself like, "I'm proud of you," and then his father said it back to him. So it was like he got to see his father again. So I think that was a pretty cool thing that happened. But yeah, I give both films. I usually on my podcast I give like films like a fro, like either it's like a mini fro, a baby fro, big fro, or like 1, 2, 3. So I'll do like a scale of like 1 to 5 fros. I give both films like 4 fros. I'll probably never give anything in like 5 fros. I don't know. We shall see. But I give this 4 fros, both films, because it was a nice. The first one was great. The second one was a nice continuation. I felt like they rolled with it, introduced some new characters in a decent way that didn't isolate the older characters. The second film still had music in it, plus it had Darlene Love in it, and she was singing and playing a role, and I thought she was excellent. And I cannot remember kid's name, but he is a New Zealander. He was in Deadpool. He played the young dude in Deadpool. He plays Belsnickel in the second film, so that was cool seeing him. And I just thought it was a great film. There are funny moments. There's some high moments, some low moments. It was just a good family fun film, and we don't have a lot of that in 2020, or for like I say like the past 5-10 years. Just some good old good family, cute, fun that ain't Hallmark, you know, and not to slap Hallmark in the face. I turning into a big, huge Hallmark fan, attributed to my old age. But I will say this, Hallmark, you need to get your Hallmark TV app together, because boy, oh boy, does that crash like crazy. Hope you see this or somebody points this out to you. Um, but yeah, that was my kind of like mini review on the Christmas Chronicles 1 and 2. I implore everybody to watch it and like, subscribe, hit that bell for more content. This is me actually trying to figure out like OBS and how to make stuff, and I'm just having fun with it, and hopefully I get better as the times go. Hopefully you join me so you can see it. I did this little, where is it? And right here. I did this little widget here. New followers are welcomed. I have about, I can't remember, like 65 or 66 subscribers. I'm looking to get to 100 by the end of January, towards the end of January. And I don't think that's hard to get to 100. I would want way more. But, you know, small goals become big goals, become great success. So you can quote me on that. And so, again, go watch the Christmas Chronicles. It's been your girl, BlackGirlMarvel. Let me know if there's any other films or TV shows that you would like me to review. I will be doing more, and I'm going to get into like some more live reactions once I figure out this setup, as well as some fun videos to check out and react to. And but I'll always be doing some type of review or something because I love it. So again, it's been your girl Follow, like, subscribe. I'll say it again because I mean it. Peace.